Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Market Today on Business Today Television. I am Shail Bhatnagar, and today is the weekly expiry of the Nifty, which is now trading flat as flat can be, 45 points lower, 24,390. 24,400 has been surrendered by the bulls to the bears. And of course, you have weakness on the IT index. This is just profit booking, and that to a very mild level. Remember, yesterday it had surged dramatically, up about 800 points. Some of it, in fact, a very minor amount, has been taken back by the market. The Nifty 500 is also weaker, down about 50 points. The small cap and the mid cap index have lost about 1.5% each, and it's the sharp cut in Hindustan Unilever which is hurting the Nifty FMCG index. There is selling all around in Britannia, in Nestle. In fact, Hindustan Unilever is one of the top underperformers on the market so far, down 6% now. 2,500 is what you see. It had shown very tepid volume growth and actually a minor cut in profit growth as well, and it's being punished very strongly by the market. So far 2,000 crores worth of transactions has happened on Hindustan Unilever. But what is in top form? And it's news-led counters which are dominating the news, which are dominating the trade as far as markets are concerned. Look at Sona Comstar. This is a stock that we had highlighted in the first opening moves of the market. At that point of time, it was up 7% at 700 rupees. Now the gains have totaled 13.8%. 733 is what you see on the counter, and this is because the company has purchased the railway division of Escorts Kubota, which in turn is trading a bit lower. On the interesting side, you have Reliance and HDFC Bank being managed and massaged in a manner to give you an indication that all is well in the market. HDFC Bank up 0.2%, 0.8%, and Reliance up 0.2%. Both have fairly high volumes to show off. This is what the broader markets are. Apart from the FMCG index, you have losses on the Nifty Realty Index. The Nifty Auto Index is 0.5 percentage point lower. The Nifty Alpha 50 again 0.5 percentage point lower. Which are the counters where a lot of volume pressure is being built up along with a rise in price? You have Piramal Pharma. This is a mid cap, this is a small cap pharma play, up 17% today on very strong volumes of 8.6 crore shares, as also Aster DM. This is a hospital chain where the stock itself is up 10% at 444 rupees. Sona Comstar is deep in the green, as also Syngene after earnings that came in post market hours yesterday. Let's look at the broader picture on the top index heavyweights. It's the banks that are helping the Nifty buttress its fall to just 45 points. SBI is up 1% at 794. HDFC Bank, as I have said, is also adding a percent, 1752. Axis Bank is up 7 rupees 15 at 1168 almost. ICICI Bank up 5 rupees at 1256. Are there any stocks that are hitting record highs in trade today? Let's check them out. Yes. Piramal Pharma 17% higher, something that I have just marked. 5-star Finance 913, 5.7% higher. Remember, this one had done a QIP about 3-4 weeks back. Liquor company Radico Khaitan 2.5% higher, 2291. Coforge and Amber Enterprises is something that we have discussed. And joining us now today is Mr. Santosh Meena, Head of Research at Swastika Investmart. Good afternoon to you, Santosh, and a very warm welcome. How are you watching the market today? Is the worst behind us? 24,390 on the Nifty. What are the charts telling you? What are the friends on Dalal Street putting in your ear?
Yeah, good afternoon, Selji. So overall market structure is weak, but similar to Bank Nifty yesterday because of the weekly option expiry, there was no movement in Bank Nifty yesterday, and similar kind of picture we are seeing in Nifty today as well. There is no movement in Nifty. Volumes are thin today after a heavy sell-off of last few days. Some we can say there is some bit of stability in the market, but overall structure is still weak. until and unless market shows any significant recovery and ended at day's high. So market structure will remain weak. And on immediate basis, I look at target of 24,200 level, and there is a possibility of 23,900 level in coming days. And I think until expiry, market structure is likely to remain weak, because if you look at the October month of last year, it was similar. Throughout October, we saw a selling pressure in the market, or till expiry, market remain under pressure, and after expiry, market made a bottom. So there is a possibility after expiry we can make a temporary bottom in headline indices, but the broader market will remain under pressure.
Okay. Any interesting stocks, Santosh, that you can pinpoint for our viewers at this point of time? Nifty is corrected about 8%, which is almost 1900 points. Similar cuts are seen on mid caps and small caps in terms of indices alone. Have some stocks that you were tracking become attractive at current levels?
One of the large cap stock, SDFC Bank, is looking attractive. If you look at the chart of the SDFC Bank, it is continuously making higher highs for last couple of days despite market is under pressure. So the investors are showing interest in SDFC Bank. I think despite market may remain below 25,000 mark, it has potential to hit fresh 52-week high in coming days. So keep eye on SDFC Bank. It is likely to give support to the market. On immediate basis, 1770, 1800 is one of the supply area. But I believe once it will cross this level, we can expect a target of 1900 level in coming days. On the downside, 725 is an immediate and strong support level.
ओके लेकिन संतोष जी, HDFC बैंक तो सभी को पता है कि खरीद लीजिए, आगे आने वाले समय में अच्छे रिटर्न देगा. इसमें तो आपने कोई तीर नहीं मारा ये शेयर बता के. कोई और मिड कैप या स्मॉल कैप की चर्चा कीजिए. और वैसे भी 5 साल में पिछले 5 साल से सभी लोग कह रहे हैं कि HDFC बैंक खरीद लीजिए, इसमें मज़ा आएगा. 5 साल तो हो गए इंतजार करते करते. अब बताइए कुछ और.
Okay, so if I talk about the broader market, so one of the interesting stock, Indigo Paints, is looking interesting because despite weak broader market and आप देखोगे तो पेंट स्टॉक्स में भी प्रेशर, इस स्टॉक में इंटरेस्टिंग स्ट्रेंथ नजर आ रही है. एक मल्टी ईयर ब्रेकआउट नजर आ रहा है. 1680 का लेवल क्रॉस करा. मे बी देयर इज माइट बी पॉसिबिलिटी कि ये आगे जाके एक्विजिशन कैंडिडेट बन जाए. सो देयर इज सम इंटरेस्टिंग प्राइस एक्शन इन दिस काउंटर. सो इस पर नजर रखिए. पोटेंशियल है इसमें कि शायद 1900 2000 के लेवल तक जा सकता है, और 1600 एक बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग का सपोर्ट का काम करेगा. तो इस स्टॉक को नजर रखें. यहाँ से इजीली 15-20% तक की अपसाइड आने वाले दिनों में देखने को मिल सकती है.
चलिए, ये आपने एक अच्छा अनरिसर्च्ड या रिलेटिवली अनरिसर्च्ड काउंटर बताया, तो इस पर निगाह रखी जाएगी. वैसे भी दिवाली का समय चल रहा है, मॉनसून ख़त्म हो गया, तो जनरली ये देखा गया है कि थर्ड क्वार्टर जो होता है वो पेंट कंपनीज़ के लिए बढ़िया होता है. तो ये तो बात हुई HDFC बैंक की और इंडिगो पेंट्स की. अब ये बताइए संतोष जी, यहाँ पर आप FMCG में हिंदुस्तान यूनिलीवर का क्वार्टरली परफॉर्मेंस कैसा देख रहे हैं? 2500 पर काउंटर आ गया, आज बेहद पिटाई हो रही है, मतलब गजब की. अब कहाँ पर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि कदम उठाया जाए और कुछ शेयर हिंदुस्तान यूनिलीवर के पोर्टफोलियो में रखे जाएं?
यस सेल जी, आई वाज आल्सो ऑन द सेम कैंप जहाँ पर जब लास्ट क्वार्टर के रिजल्ट्स आए थे, इनकी कमेंट्री आई थी, देवर सेइंग कि रूरल रिकवरी अच्छी देखने को मिल रही है. तब एक इंटरेस्ट जागा था सभी इन्वेस्टर्स का कि ये स्पेस अच्छा कर सकता है, और स्टेट इलेक्शंस की ओर हम बढ़ रहे हैं, तो नॉर्मली एक्सपेक्टेशंस होती है कुछ फ्रीबीज वगैरह अनाउंसमेंट होगा, नॉर्मली अच्छा करता है. बट अब एक जो की पॉइंट नजर आ रहा है वो अर्बन स्लो डाउन, वो एक मेजर पेन पॉइंट नजर आ रहा है. स्टॉक्स में वो प्रेशर देखने को मिल रहा है. और दूसरा रीजन तो है ही कि FMCG में जो FIs की एग्रेसिवली सेलिंग हो रही है, तो वन ऑफ द एरिया जहाँ FIs की लार्ज होल्डिंग होती है वो FMCG काउंटर्स होते हैं. तो वीक अर्निंग्स प्लस FI सेलिंग, ये इन स्टॉक्स पर दबाव बना रही है, और टेक्निकली आज 200 दिन के मूविंग एवरेज के नीचे फिसल चुका है काउंटर. तो लग रहा है कि थोड़ा स्पेस और है ऑन द डाउन साइड. मुझे लगता है कि 2400 तक के लेवल दिखा सकता है, वहां जाकर थोड़ी स्टेबिलिटी इस काउंटर में आ सकती है. बट फॉर टाइम आई डोंट थिंक कि यहाँ पर सिग्निफिकेंट रिकवरी आएगी, क्योंकि स्टॉक अपने 200 दिन के मूविंग एवरेज के नीचे अच्छे वॉल्यूम के साथ फिसला है. तो बहुत ज्यादा डाउन साइड तो नहीं है, बट अभी एक शार्प रिकवरी की भी उम्मीद नहीं है. तो जिसका लंबा नजरिया का व्यू है, तो 2400 रुपए के आसपास खरीदारी के मौके ढूंढ सकता है.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hindustan Unilever just about 2 months ago was at 3,000 rupees. I'll tell you the exact date. This was on 23rd of September. So in 1 month, you have seen the stock correct about 20-25%. And at the moment, because of terrible earnings, it's trading near June 4th lows. This is the same price that you saw on election day results. And at this point of time, if you look at the longer term weekly charts, the 200 week average is around 2400, and this is a buy zone that Santosh ji is suggesting. Today's low was 2457. So one can presume that 2400, 2410, 2420, if you can get that price in, this would be a good swing level for you to get into Hindustan Unilever if you want to add it to your portfolio. Santosh ji, second quarter earnings across the board have been terrible, unless you look at some very few examples like Bajaj Finance, like maybe to some extent Axis or Zomato. Zomato after earnings has been thrashed. So in the 500 or so earnings for the second quarter that have come up, Santosh ji, any stock or any quarterly performance from a corporate catches your fancy on the long side?
Yes, one of the area which is performing well is IT space, and especially like persistent, very strong counter. So persistent ने consistently perform किया, and इस quarter में भी देखे तो performance काफी अच्छा रहा है. Structure की बात करें तो ये stock अपने 52 वीक हाई पर ट्रेड कर रहा है, तो मुझे लगता है ये मोमेंटम इसमें जारी रहेगा. एंड वी आर हेडिंग टुवर्ड्स यूएस इलेक्शन. सो देयर इज ओनली वन इशू कि यूएस बॉन्ड यील्ड्स और डॉलर इंडेक्स में रिसेंटली एक शार्प सर्ज देखने को मिला है. बट डिस्पाइट दैट, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ अर्निंग्स, ये एक स्पेस और एरिया है और ये स्टॉक है जहाँ पर आउट परफॉर्मेंस जारी रह सकता है. ऑन इमीडिएट बेसिस मुझे 6000 के टारगेट नज़र आते हैं, वहाँ पे जाके मे भी एक प्रॉफिट बुकिंग देखने को मिले. बट कोई भी डिप मिलता है तो ये स्टॉक में खरीदारी देखने को मिल सकती है.
चलिए, Persistent and of course Coforge have come up with very strong set of earnings from the mid cap IT space, but they have been more or less balanced by some very dismal performances at KPIT Technologies and Birla Soft. So it's one of those things that there are more individual performances that are coming on the great side, but they are more or less balanced by equally dismal set of numbers by similar or smaller peers. Let's look at what the market is now telling us. For the moment, you have the Nifty trading at just a moment, please. Let me just get the right value of the Nifty for you. 24398. So almost 400 is upon us, and it's the weekly expiry. Let us see if the entire short covering happens today or not. Remember, if players feel that there is more pain in the offing, then they will roll their short positions over to the next weekly expiry, which will be the last for October. The entire month is with October. 31st is when this monthly expiry ends, and October has been very painful. Every single day we have foreigners selling crores and crores, thousands and crores of worth of Indian stocks on a net basis, and so far the total is 1 lakh crores for October alone. Santosh ji, in this downtrend that we are seeing, would you have a view on Bajaj Finance? The earnings were good, and the stock seems to have sort of managed to keep its 200-day with itself. 7029. What are the hopes from the festive season as far as Bajaj Finance is concerned?
Yes, on purely basis on the technical structure, 6600, 6600 to 6550 area is acted as a strong support area. So the older names like Bajaj Finance and SDFC Bank are showing some kind of interest. So मुझे लगता है कि यहाँ ये स्पेस ऐसा है कि अगर मार्केट में थोड़ा भी रिकवरी आता है, then SDFC Bank and Bajaj Finance and ICICI Bank stocks, that kind of stock may do well because यहाँ valuations का comfort बहुत ही अच्छा है. If you look at the price to book value ratio, I think after listing ये one of the lowest price to book value के आसपास ट्रेड कर रहा है. तो यहाँ पर मुझे लगता है कि रिस्क रिवॉर्ड काफी फेवरेबल है बेस्ड ऑन टेक्निकल एंड बेस्ड ऑन फंडामेंटल. यस, नियर टर्म मार्केट का स्ट्रक्चर वीक है, तो मे बी अगर कोई वापस से डिप मिले तो आपके लिए एक बहुत अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी रहेगी. और वंस मार्केट विल स्टेबलाइज, आई बिलीव बहुत ही जल्दी आपको 8,000 रुपीज तक के लेवल देखने को मिल सकते हैं.
Okay. Within the large cap IT space, Santosh ji, what is the best bet that Swastika has on the long side?
Yes, I believe despite some valuations concern, SCL Tech may continue to do well. अभी results बहुत अच्छे आए हैं recently. थोड़ा सा valuation इसका TCS and Infosys के पार आ गया. Normally ये discount पे trade करता है, but I believe the momentum is very strong. The counter is likely to continue to do well. So यहाँ पर नज़र रखी जा सकती है. 2000 के level बहुत जल्दी देखने को मिल सकते हैं. On the downside मुझे लगता है अगर कोई dip मिलता है 1700 रुपीज़ के आसपास, तो that will be a great buying opportunity.
Okay, fair point. That's a wonderful stock pick that you've highlighted. So from your side, we have HDFC Bank, Indigo Paints, HCL Technologies, and which one? Bajaj Finance also you've been positive upon. Which was the sixth counter on midcap IT? Coforge, you said.
Yeah, persistent.
Persistent, yes, persistent. My apologies. So 6 stocks, Santoshi, we will remember from your side, and we will keep an eye out on all of them. Thank you so much for your time, and here's wishing you all the best for the festivities ahead. Let's hope the last quarter of the Nifty is far better than the first 3 quarters put together. बहुत correction हो गया. Now it is the time to sort of bring back the bulls on the Lal Street. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Salji. Same to you.
Okay. With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the market. So far, what you see in the market is 24,900, 24,400 on the Nifty, down 35 points. The Nifty Bank is 329 points higher at about 51,568. No, I think my data is not, yes, now it's much better. 51,467, 228 points higher on the Nifty Bank. Mild downtick on the mid cap and the small cap 100 index. 162 down on mid cap and 33 down on the small cap index. Advanced declines are still in favor of bears. 1,550 shares in the red versus 814 that are in the green. In terms of sectoral performance, you have the Nifty PSU Bank as the top gainer index, 1.1% higher, and you are seeing weakness in the Nifty FMCG index, auto index, and the realty index. So far, that's the status of the market. Remember, today it's the weekly expiry of the Nifty. We are very, very grateful that we haven't had much pain today, but let's hope for the next half an hour or so this situation continues. Joining us now is Mr. Kunal Rambhir from the streets of the Lal Street. Good afternoon, Kunal. A very warm welcome to you. How are you watching rollovers for the coming 5 days, which will be the, thankfully, the last weekly expiry of the F&O space? What is looking good based purely on rollovers?
Good afternoon, Shell sir. So thank you so much for having me on the show. Yes, as you rightly mentioned, I was just hearing your conversation with the previous guest also. Too much correction is already done. लग रहा है शायद यहीं पे ही bottom बननी चाहिए, and this seems to be oversold zone now for the market from the medium term point of view. The counters like Reliance and these frontliners which have not really done well, I think these are the counters where the positive rollover data may just turn up. And the way the Reliance has shoot up in the last 15-20 minutes, I think it is from the support level, and from there only we can see the buyings coming in these counters. So still, I will be waiting for a day or two to see the counters where we can see the short covering happening, at least the shorts not getting rollover. So the first counter is the Reliance, where my eyes are, I'm very clearly watching and very closely watching this counter. So I'm keeping an eye on it. And if at all I get the opportunity to come back again next week, I'll definitely share more data.
Okay, hardly any rollover this time. Lever maybe 32%, but that's event led. ITC ahead of earnings 19%. It's just flat as flat can be. Let's hope the pain has been absorbed by the market. You see the Nifty now trying to consolidate beyond the 100-day moving average. Kunal, within index heavyweights and especially Hindustan Unilever, is this the first day of a continuous correction, or you feel that maybe the counter will reclaim 200-day moving average next week?
So, Shell sir, now again, if you look at the overall performance of HUL since August 2019, I'm referring to the weekly data chart, it is clearly making higher top, higher bottom. We saw two big corrections. The first was somewhere in the month of March 2022, and the second big correction was in April 2024, where it reclaimed those support levels and again it bounced. Interesting observation, sir, in today's behavior is that though the counter is down by around 5.5% right now, it actually made a bottom which was near to June 2024 low, which was 2450 kind of levels. And right now, it is up by almost 60 points from that low level, and good volume is also seen. So, if the counter manages to close about 2500, as you rightly mentioned about the moving average also, I think not much of a pain left on this. I will not be a buyer immediately. I'll wait for a day or two, wait for the consolidation to happen. But yes, otherwise, this can be a good opportunity to buy these counters in correction, where the trend is very much intact.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, there is another interesting statistic which I will share with Kunal. I've already told you. Kunal, look at the 200-week moving average on Hindustan Unilever. That's at 2400 rupees. And 200-week actually means 4 years. Almost
Correct.
4 years, correct? 208 to be precise would be 4 years. Now, this is the tragedy of this counter. For the last 4 years, it has done nothing. And you can just see that 5, 7, 10% correction, 15% correction from a record high takes you back to a 4-year low. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the problem in the entire FMCG space, where valuations haven't corrected. You might be having a time correction, which is the stock is doing nothing, but the PE remains constant. Let us see how it pans out, but such is life, and sometimes many stocks just do nothing. Let's look at Sona Comstar, Kunal. One of those blowout performances today based on news, as also a QIP that had happened about 4 weeks ago. What are the charts of Sona Comstar telling you?
So overall, the trend, as we can see on the weekly chart, is mildly positive. The trend is clearly positive from March 2023 low, which is the counter is making clear higher top, higher bottom. But if you look at the a little historical data, that is of Jan 2022, counter made 21 actually. Counter made a high of around 835. It consolidated near 780, and from there it declined. So from present level, yes, there is a lot of room for the upside, but our viewer needs to keep this 810, 20 level in mind. So from present level, one can definitely initiate a buy. The stop loss for this can be 700, and the target can be 800. And again, at near to 800, we'll have to revisit and see whether the previous high is acting as a resistance. But the trend is absolutely intact and very strong.
Fair point. Kunal, let's just try and understand. First, let's get this elephant out of the way. Any two stocks that look good to you on the charts, long or short?
Sir, I really like Reliance a lot, because Reliance is trying to reclaim its lost ground for the day, and the way it has come up, the risk-reward ratio is extremely favorable. So today, if Reliance closes near to the, say, around 2680 to 2690, I think that can be a good buying opportunity, with the stop loss as 2650, and the targets can be 2750. That's a short-term target, followed by 2800 even. And the second is BHEL. The counter has already shown us the correction of around 30 to 35%. Interesting observation here is that it has made the bottom near to 5th June wala bottom, which was near to 225. Right now it's trading at 227. So with the stop loss of 220, one can initiate a buy on BHEL. Also, risk reward ratio is extremely favorable, and the positional target on this can be 250. So these are two major stocks which I'm tracking from risk reward point of view as well.
Yes, Reliance, remember, ladies and gentlemen, October 28th is the day before which if you purchase and it reaches your demat, you will be eligible for 1:1 bonus, and that itself should be reason enough for maybe retail investors to look at this counter. I'll request the PCR to fire a longer term chart of Reliance. You will see it's corrected from 3,000 to 450 maybe 2 days ago, or maybe 2,500, and again below 200-day DMA, and one of those best zones to buy any stock which is worth quality, is a multi-bagger in the past, to add to your long term portfolio. That's the reason, ladies and gentlemen, both Kunal and I often give you a context as to why we are discussing stocks. Hindustan Unilever available at a 4-year average price, despite whatever pain that they talk about, which essentially means that you've saved money for the last 4 years by not investing in lever. Be that as it may, let's shift focus and look at the mid-cap IT space. Kunal, Persistent and Coforge, already outperformers by a very, very wide margin in the 3-year, 1-year, year-to-date period, have come up with fantastic performances. What are the charts of Coforge and Persistent telling you?
So Persistent, undoubtedly, it's a trending counter. May 2024 low was around 3,300, and right now it's at 5,700. Trend is extremely positive, and in fact, yesterday's volume was highest ever recorded, at least in last 6 to 7 months. Now that's confirmation of the trend continuation. Because it's sideways consolidating right now, I think it can be a good candidate even from swing trading point of view. So with the stop loss of 55.50, one can think of initiating a buy on this. Let's keep the target open in trending counters. We keep trailing the stop loss. इसका target open रख देते हैं. और Coforge देखेंगे अगर तो Coforge में again the trend is very strong. Yesterday's volume is just same as what we discussed for Persistent, again trending counter with the stop loss of 7,500. One can initiate a buy and the targets can again be near to 8,000. Again, we keep trailing the stop loss here and hold the position for now.
Okay, that's Persistent. Fine. And are you watching Birlasoft? The early morning traction on Birlasoft was truly amazing. Company came out with the quarterly losses, my apologies, slip in quarterly profit year on year as well, but said that these were because of on-site costs. Birlasoft for you?
Sir, 7 bottoms. Since November 2023, this counter has made exact 7 bottoms near 570 itself. And every time after testing that level, the counter has jumped up by at least 100 points. This is the 7th time where the counter is near to 570. Let's just wait for a day. One bullish candle and we should be in with the stop loss of 560. And the targets can first be 625, followed by 645 and then 685. These are the 3 targets I'm watching out for. But I'm not just buying right now. I'll just wait for one reversal sign. So probably tomorrow morning, if we see a bounce coming in, then with the stop loss of today's low, one can initiate a buy and the targets can be 100 points in the zone with the 30 points difference.
Okay. The PCR will fire a long-term chart of Birlasoft. Again, the price is at a 21-week average. These are critical turning points or breakdown points. As Kunal very rightly says, over the last so many weeks, 7 times 570 has been tested and it has held. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is one of very good measures. The all-time high on Birlasoft is 856. Today we had an intraday low of 556. So easily a 300-point correction from the all-time high. These are buying zones. You may go wrong by a week or so, 1 month or so, but if you are a sensible and intelligent investor, SIP is the great way forward. And for stocks who have made earlier record highs of 870 or so and are variable anywhere between 35-40% from their all-time peak. Let me just do some interesting statistics to you as well, Kunal. Just draw a Fibonacci on the low of 3rd April 2023 to the peak it's a perfect 50% retracement of the rally. So what we will,
Absolutely.
what we will do, ladies and gentlemen, from our side, we will track Birla Soft from 570 onwards. Today's intraday low was 556, made on a day when quarterly earnings were not to the market's liking. But for the long term shareholders who really love to buy counters below 33, 45, 50% of their peak, this is the time to step in. Kunal, 311, anything that looks good?
Sir, I just wanted to highlight one more. That is Adani Wilmar. Now, Adani Wilmar today is just up by around 6%. And look at the bottom. This bottom is near to 311. If we go and check out the historical data of last 2 years, that is from November 2023 से भी पहले जाके we checked March 2023, and even when it got listed on the exchange, that was on March 2022 zone, it has always bounced from this level of 320. And today, after bouncing from that extreme low level, it's trading at 340. If the counter manages to close above near to the high, with the stop loss of 320, one can definitely initiate a buy. The targets can be 400. And how many times we saw this 400 target coming in? Almost 4 times again. So that support and the high as the resistance, that can be a good zone for any trader. With the 30-point stop loss and 100 points target, I think this can be well poised for the next swing rally trade.
Okay. 312, ladies and gentlemen, we are now 18 minutes away from today's close. So far, let's just say it's been a quiet day, and nothing much has come out of it in terms of pain. Kunal, is it okay to presume that the worst is behind us in terms of the slide? Indices have corrected, Nifty, midcap and large cap have corrected to the extent of 7%. Many other indices have corrected 15, 20%. Stocks have corrected 50%. Are we,
So,
enough
again,
is enough?
Absolutely. And the only reason is, sir, on midcap Nifty futures chart, which I can see from the low of March 2023 so far. Just try and connect the trend line by connecting the bottom of March 2023 and the extreme correction of 4th June 2024. If we connect, it has exactly tested that level day before yesterday. Yesterday was again on the same level, and today it's trading higher than that level. So, on a broadly speaking, on a longer term chart, the trend is absolutely intact. And rather than buying the counters near the high, we are buying right now the counters near the support. The risk reward ratio is extremely favorable. Trending counters mein buying near support is always favorable, and that's what is available on midcap Nifty. So extremely bullish on indices also, and stock specific behavior also, sir.
Fair point. Apart from Reliance, any other BTST or STBT in your mind?
So the another counter which I like the most, sir, is REC. It has bounced right from the support level itself, and that support is of last 4 months support. With the stop loss of around 510, I think 505 one can initiate a buy, and the first target can be 540. Now this might not be a BTST itself, but yeah, with the stop loss of this, I think for next 2 to 3 days one can initiate a trade on REC also.
Okay, fair point. What we'll do is we'll just take a bit of a detour into the markets. Let us see how markets are shaping up in terms of gainers and losers. Within the Nifty, it's Ultratech Cement which is saving the day, 2.7% higher. Yeah, there you have it. Shriram Finance, after weeks of selling pressure, you have a green tick on Shriram Finance. Titan, no surprise here, gold prices at a record high, and why wouldn't Titan be shining? M&M and SBI are also amongst the gainers. On the losing side, earnings boys, Lever being taken to the cleaners, 6% lower, 2504 in futures, today's low is 2452, and the 4-year low on average is also 2400. Please keep that in mind. SBI Life post earnings, Hindalco being thrashed 4%, Nestle no respite, again terrible earnings and being thrashed by the market. Overall, these were Nifty gainers and losers. Overall, you see why Kunal has recommended REC. It's available to me now. Fourth top gainer in the FNO pack. its smaller rival PFC is up 3.3. Syngene post earnings for the second quarter, jumping 5.7%, and life coming back into some PSU banking stocks, Bank in Baroda in particular. Kunal, BOB for you?
So in fact, all banking stocks are looking very good. Bank of Baroda per se is showing good bounce. And again, जैसे बोलते हैं सर, वो नजर वहीं पे पहुंचती है जहां सपोर्ट होता है. Bank of Baroda has bounced from the levels of 230, and that 230 level was tested 5 times in last 4 to 5 months. And exactly from that level, this time also we are witnessing a bounce. I think the target can be 555 and above that, 255 and above that. The targets can be 275. So yes, Bank of Baroda is a perfect buy with the stop of 10 points for now, and keep trailing the stop loss. I think this time it can give a breakout looking at the volume activity.
Okay. Let's now start marking the market in terms of volumes as well as top traded counters. We'll again head back to NSE 500 and look at how volumes are shaping up. Amber Enterprises, this is the earnings boy day before yesterday. Very, very strong show that day. Today slipping 3 percentage points lower, and this is pure profit booking because the counter hit a record high, and 3,600 crores worth of transactions have happened on Amber. The reason to note this one is, ladies and gentlemen, because this is an EMS play, electronic manufacturing companies. The recent thawing of diplomatic relations between India and China are beneficial to this entire pack. I'll request the PCR to fire the long-term chart of Dixon Technologies, EPAC and PGEL. These are all EMS players. All of them will benefit immensely with Chinese visas coming back, Chinese professionals coming back to the country in India, trying to ease supply chains, and this is what is beneficial for this entire pack. There are many other EMS players. Look at Optimius Infra. These are the 5 that I remember offhand at the top of my mind, and these are the ones that you need to keep on your radar. Reliance trading 2836 crores, HDFC Bank 2590 crores, Piramal Pharma. Wow, I haven't seen this volume ever, Kunal. 2277 crores, up 17%. What are the charts telling you?
Absolutely, sir. The counter actually gave the first breakout near to 110, and since then clear higher top, higher bottom. In fact, now it's trading into all-time high territory. And if you look at the recent behavior, last 6 to 7 weeks of consolidation breakout happened at 235, and today itself it straight away went up by 17%. So it's a clear buy. Now it's a matter of you need to take a bit of a risk. Stop loss being 235, one can keep buying this counter and hold this counter. I think the targets can be as high as 325 to 330 based on Fibonacci extension of 161%. But I'm extremely bullish on this.
Okay, that's fine. That's the view that is coming in on PPL Pharma. What else should I be marking with you? Sona Comstar we've decided, spoken about. Breakdown in KPIT. 13%, 14% lower.
Correct. And that's actually scary because the counter is trading still near the low. But on the weekly chart, if we look at the November 2023 bottom till now, this counter has tested 1345 level almost 5 times. As of now, it's little away from this level. I think 50-60 points more to go. We'll wait and we'll see near 1350 how it behaves. By any chance, again, if it consolidates, that can be a good buying opportunity in the trending counter. And below 1345, we'll think of shorting, finding the shorting opportunities from the positional point of view. So for now, just keep a watch on it. Near 1345, we can revisit it.
Okay, this was sets of excellent charts. First, our PCR showed you a 2-year gain, which even with today's rally, today's downtick is 92%. So that's how money has grown dramatically, ladies and gentlemen. And today's fall is 14%. So even if it were flat today, this would have been a 105% rise in 2 years. Where can you make this kind of money? And that's the reason why you see such sharp falls in profit booking happening, because a mild disappointment leads to a massive profit booking. People are afraid, skittish when they sit on 100% gains over 2 years. डर लगता है आज हम बेच देते हैं कल पता नहीं क्या होगा. So that's the reason why such things happen. And of course slippages in all auto stocks, Bajaj Auto, TVS Motors, M&M. Another good counter is Tata Motors, Kunal. We've seen 1150 and now 870. Is the worst over? I mean, do you see more selling pressure ahead? What are your charts telling you in the medium term? 6 months.
Perfect, sir. So on 4th and 5th of June, again, we checked the bottom of 5th of June. The low on 5th of June was 890. Right now, it's at 880. It's near the same zone, and it entered this all-time high on 5th of Feb 2024, where the breakout was at 880. Back to the same level. So yes, again, it's offering good risk-reward ratio and near to the support. So, if the counter consolidates near this level, then with the stop loss of 860, one can definitely initiate a buy. Trending counter available near support. आज थिंक सर आज हमारा पूरा डिस्कशन ही इसी के ऊपर है कि कहाँ सपोर्ट पे हमें बाइंग मिल रही है. So this is again one of that counter which one can always keep an eye on and finding the reversal opportunities.
Actually, Kunal, 2 days ago I was telling Sakshi that mark my words, we will see a record high on Reliance fairly soon. One, it's been beaten black and blue, 3000 रुपए से 2500 रुपए आ गया. It's a quality stock. Maybe people sold ahead of the earnings. Maybe people booked profit. Now everything that was bad is priced into the counter. And now the repair and the recovery starts. You've seen fairly heavy selling pressure. Maybe post November 5th, we don't know. See, many stocks come below 200 DMA. Look at L&T. Then they recover. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the business of making a quality portfolio at a very decent price,
recording in progress,
make a list of 150 stocks. In India, 5,000, 6,000 shares are invested, but there are only 150 stocks that you would want to give back as inheritance to your next generation. In that 150 stocks, ladies and gentlemen, look at stocks that are around 50-week moving averages. Look at stocks that are around 100-week moving averages. Add them to your portfolio, you will make super gains. I can give you one example. I'll request the PCR to fire the long-term chart of Aurobindo Pharma. Kunal, about 18 months ago, Aurobindo Pharma was available at 400 rupees. A little longer, PCR. Yeah. 2 years ago, same date, it was at 404. And today it's at 1404. So
March 2021 say March 2023, entire decline breakout happened exactly on the date which you're mentioning. That's on March 2023, near to 500, and see the price.
And all sensible investors who have done 10 years, 20 years, 30 years in the market were waiting for Aurobindo Pharma to, I think that was the 100-month moving average or something. So that's how easy life is, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of, making 10 trades a day and losing in 9, it is best to make 5 trades a year and making tons of money in all those 5 trades. There are many people who are holding Aurobindo Pharma from that 500 rupee level. और अब आपके सामने on a bad day it's 1444. I think all time high on Aurobindo Pharma is 1500. Let me just check.
So it's trading near the all time high itself.
It's 1600.
1592.
So 440 to 1600, easily 4x in 2 years. And this is a large cap blue chip stock, remember the point I am making. Absolutely no risk on balance sheet. News was bad. One of the directors was arrested because of problems with his activities not related to Aurobindo Pharma. So that's how long term money is made, ladies and gentlemen. 325. Kunal, before we let you go, now what now? How do you plan for tomorrow? Friday, chutti hai. I'm not talking about parties but market.
So indices are near to the support, and I think Bank Nifty and Nifty can really go up big way. In Nifty, as we discussed, I think Reliance can participate, and Reliance is the only counter which can take Nifty to new highs along with L&T. So these are the counters which I'm watching out very closely. Nifty breakout is at 24,580 to 600 kind of levels. That's on the future price. So once the Nifty goes above that, I'll just be trading that index with a particular stop loss and a trailing stop loss to take it to the new high, along with stock as Reliance, which we discussed. I think these are best poised from the risk reward point of view also.
Okay, fair point. Would you also give a view on L&T?
Absolutely, sir. As we just discussed, L&T right near the support itself, the stop loss on this counter can be around 3400 to 3375, approximately that zone. And from here, the first target can be 3600, the high which we saw on 21st of October, and above that, the target can be 3800. Well, in range for an entire year, I think the
Yes.
risk reward ratio is almost 1 is to 3.5 to 4 kind of. One should go with these counters where the risk reward ratio is favorable and we are large cap. So index ko chalne ke liye, these are the only counters which can take that to new high. So we stay with them.
Okay, L&T, ladies and gentlemen, is available at a 54-week low, 54-week average price, let me just say. And there was a low that was made in May 2024 of 3269. Let us see if that's tested, and then we will begin this journey. So lots of stocks rest for 1 year, 8 months, 2 months, 5 months, 10 months, and then suddenly some news comes. 10,000 crore rupee order by L&T, one day it will be announced, and then the rally will restart. Kunal, thank you so much for the lovely time. Here's
Pleasure.
wishing you
Pleasure, sir.
the best for festivities ahead. May Saraswati, the goddess, help you more in terms of finding better trades and great charts, and festive wishes to everybody at home and at your office. With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's start wrapping up the markets. 328. Today was the weekly expiry of the Bank Nifty. It's passed off peacefully. I am hoping that 24,400 will be retained by the bulls. This may or may not be a great support, but this is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We seem to be at the fag end of the falling knife. On a daily basis, you can see that the losses on the Nifty are getting lower and lower. That's a plus point. Is it the end of the fall? We don't know, but is the worst over? Probably. We will be now entering the last phase of October's FNO monthly expiry. It's been one of those very, very painful ones. 26 September, we were at a record high on the Nifty, 26,240, and we are now at 24,400. It's a 1,850 point fall in a span of 16, 17 sessions, fueled primarily by foreign fund sales, which in turn have been fueled by rising US bond yields, rising US dollar, and of course very heavy and extremely overstretched valuations on Indian equities. The second quarter earnings have been, with some very few exceptions, terrible, and the market has paid a price for that. Major indices have corrected 7.5%. Some of the other indices have corrected 20-21%, and many stocks have corrected between 30 and 50%. Is the entire froth out of the market? Only time will tell, but this is what we have for you. A close on the Nifty on its weekly expiry day above 24,400. Of course, it's lost a very minor ground, but the Nifty PSU index is in the green, 1.2% higher. Banking index is 0.5% higher. Pharma index 0.5% higher. What's lost ground is the auto space and the FMCG space. Terrible selling happening on Hindustan Unilever, Britannia, Nestle, many other pharma stocks that are in pain. Let's hope we start Friday on a clean slate, given the pain that is coming on Wall Street overnight. Let's hope we end Friday above 24,500. छोटी छोटी इच्छाएं हैं, कभी कभी बाजार पूरी कर देता है. Thank you so much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. Stay glued to Business Today Television. There's a lot that's happening on the other side of the break. Your view on Zomato after this stunning set of numbers and after this fundraise that is in place. What are the charts telling you? All-time high of about 300 rupees and a very nice target raised by CLSA. What is your view on Zomato?
So looking at daily price chart, Zomato is trading into the rising channel, and looking at the number and the overall news, we are definitely expecting some good upside also from current market price. Looking at current market price, we are seeing that steep resistance somewhere around 270, 275. If today prices sustain about 270 level, then there are very good chances its all-time high, which is somewhere around 300, can be taken out in a day or two. So overall price chart looks very strong. But we will provide you conditional buy above 270 level only. If 270 broken out, then you can go long for the target price of 300 plus. And we will like to keep a stop loss. If we are buying above 270, then stop loss would be 255. So conditional buy above 270.
I think the recent top is 271. Unless and until the stock is not crossing that level, one should not get into a buy side trade formation irrespective of the fundamental development or the result which it has recently posted. We are of the view that the weakness will persist. Any bounce should and must be used as an exit opportunity. And we think that the stock will likely to test its recent low of 240, which it has made on 6th of September 2024. So for us, it's a sell on rise right now rather than buy on dips. We will buy only if the stock close above 271, which is its recent high on a weekly basis.
Atmanirbharta, yes. As you are aware that Atmanirbharta is the best thing and we have to encourage that. So corporatization of the PSUs has taken place and we are doing partial hand-holding also. But why PSUs were not progressing? Why their graph was flat? Because they did not have R&D. Now when you visit the PSUs, you find the R&D is coming up in a big way. Every day they are looking for people who can sit in their R&D incubation centers. That is something which is happening. As far as the private sector is also concerned, they are looking at orders. They are not looking at R&D. So the culture of research and development was not existing in India, neither on the private side, neither on the public side or on the public side. So these two sides are being encouraged now. I must confess that the Navy has taken a big lead with VESI and other structures which are there. My wife visited yesterday itself to VESI, and I am also likely to go there soon. Because these are the structures which are required, which give you a framework and which advise people who are carrying out the development, spiral development which is taking place in the private field. But what we have done recently, we have the Army Design Bureau, which is giving us a lot of directions, ATB. Then we also have the programs like IDEX and Aditi, starting from 1 crore, 10 crore, 15 crores, 30 crores. These programs are giving us various startups which are coming, which are having better R&D even than the established private sector. Then the DRDO restructuring is taking place. And once the DRDO restructuring takes place, I am sure, I am sanguine that the research and development will get a major impetus. So this is as far as the Atmanirbharta and the research and development is concerned.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls, a show that addresses all your stock-related queries. And of course, this is where top market experts join in and they take up all your questions to address it live on the show over the next 15 minutes. Of course, you can use the WhatsApp number that's flashing on your screens to send in all your questions. Do mention your name, your location and your contact details so that we can dial you back and you can directly speak to the top guests who join in on the show as well. Alternatively, you can also use the YouTube platform where you're watching us live on Business Today Television and use the comment section there to also send me your questions and I can pick up some of those questions there too. Let me now introduce to you our guest of the day. We have Mr. Aditya Agarwal, the Head of Research and Investment at investforedu.com, now with us on the show. Aditya, warm welcome. Good to have you with us. And finally, your presence is also lighting up the markets once again. We have a 100-point uptick on the Nifty, 24,573. It's such a welcome breather in the markets which have been continuously falling like blind pins. Tell us, do we see any signs of continuing uptrend going forward from here?
Hi, afternoon, Sakshi. Thanks for the show. It's always a pleasure to come back. Oh, yes, it's a breather and a healthy one because after weeks or maybe I would say days of correction, finally we are seeing some kind of green tinge on the screen. I would say this can extend some